Welcome back. So I don't know why Katie just gonna wrap up the program because we have a question, we have a giveaway again this week. You understand? This child gonna she can't keep it for herself. She cannot keep that prize for herself. We need to ask that question. And in the meantime, we get to speak with two players of Hibiscus Club. They lost the match today. We know that the club has a great showing of the under 19 players. So we just want to hear some thoughts about how it went out on the field and how they felt about it. So welcome, Tamika Pagu, that's the name. Welcome. I observed Tamika last year. She was really great in the under 19 tournament. 2024, she did really well as a wicket keeper. And she's been on the scene since and gradually coming up, so look out for her, okay? Commiserations on the game today. We wish you all the best in the next one. But how was it? How did it feel? How did it feel out there?
We started pretty good. It's just after when the first wicket dropped, everybody started to drop
The
the wickets. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, what do you think, or if you would have to give advice on how to deal with that in terms of not, the spirits being broken so easily? So it's like the first wicket drop and everybody drop. What would you advise the players on how to deal with that?
To stay on bat because everybody came in with just to hit and go. No, we didn't really focus on to take the time because it happened at the overs so you could stay in on bat. Everybody just came in to hit and go.
So going into the next game, this is what would be mentioned. This is what would be worked on in terms of taking time. This is to continue in the ODIs, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Point fourth inside.
And how long have you been playing cricket?
Since I was in primary school, so about 10 years.
10 years. What brought about the interest to be a wicket keeper?
I wasn't a wicketkeeper, I was a pace bowler. And then afterwards, I was to join a club named South Young Warriors. And we had some program club, we had invested in as on my side. And it had a man, he told me that how I should be a keeper because I catch like a keeper. So I went and I practiced keeping, and that's how I became a keeper.
Do you enjoy the most when you compare the three in terms of wicket keeping, batting, and so you don't get to bowl now unless you're playing? And do you miss bowling?
No, not really.
Which one do you prefer the most? Wicket keeping. Oh, that's great. Um, so would you, because cricket has evolved so much over the years, I mean, Katie just started when she was 5, and I was saying, I don't know what got into my head as a parent to let this small child go and play cricket. But of course, I do not regret it now, right? But 5 years ago, we didn't have as many females, or maybe we didn't know there were so many females interested in cricket. Um, in terms of the evolution of cricket, in terms of cricket growing so much now and so many females having opportunities, would you think about cricket as a career in the future for you?
Yeah,
Okay. So you're seeing yourself on the West Indies team. And if the West Indies don't take you, where you going?
the seniors.
Oh my God, Tamika, it was so nice talking with you. We wish you all the best for
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I do apologize for closing off the last segment. That was my intention, so I apologize to the viewers. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. This is take two. We just dealing with some minor technical difficulties, but we are live. I have with me Jovina Poloxing, the captain of Hibiscus Women's Cricket Club. First of all, let me say commiserations. This is your second game of the season. The 2025 season, you all made some changes, you all made some switches in terms of with the other teams. What would you say is a challenge that you all have been facing based on the past two games?
Well, based on the past two games, the girls are very young. This is their first actual 50 over tournament. Before they won't play in 50 overs. So it's a little bit of adjustment for them. So we are adjusting slowly to it, but by the next game, I'm sure we'll be fully adjusted.
So you all bat first. Can you explain to me how the wicket was playing based on your experience?
But based on the experience, the wicket was playing good. A little bit inconsistent bounce here and there. We were actually having some issues with the bowling from one end that we weren't able to see the ball because the backdrop was white and the ball was white. So we was having a little problem there. But other than that, we readjusted as much as we can to the game. The spinners started to get a little turn, maybe in the third or fourth over. So the wicket started to play like how it's supposed to play and how we expected it to play. The bounce became a lot more even and more consistent.
So if you won't mind, can you remind the viewers of your age?
I'm 35 years of age.
Look at that, 35 years old, and you are the captain of Hibiscus Women's Cricket Club. You are, can I say, are the oldest member in the club?
Currently, no, I'm not the oldest member, but I'm probably the most experienced.
Most experienced. So do you think you're like a role model for the younger girls to look to and somebody who they can ask and always ask for advice from?
Of course I am. Of course I'm a role model. I hope I'm a role model to them because I have a lot of knowledge in my little head here and about the game. And I really hope that they ask me questions so I can impart the knowledge on them.
Now, like I said, you lead a relatively young team. Is it any different from leading the team that you had before in the past?
To be very honest, it's a little bit more on the tedious side because you have to check on them after every over or every ball to make sure to make the changes, especially when it is left or right. As I said, it's a very young team, so they build in there. So we're taking the first few games to build a little bit, and then we'll come out in full force for the rest of the tournament.
Right. So this is your first year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Being coached by Kelvin Williams. He is a man with many accomplishments under his belt. How does it feel to be coached by him?
To be very honest, at first I was kind of frightened and a little bit intimidated. I've always heard about this great man and see him with the male side of the cricket. Now to have him on the female side of the cricket and actually getting to work with him, it is a pleasure. He and I have the same driving force is pushing the youth and the younger ones today because there's a lot of opportunity for them, especially now in the women cricket.
So before you go, is there anything that happened today that you think you and the team could work on for future games?
Definitely with the batting. We have 50 overs. We could have put down a little more and be sturdy and put down our head and bat because we have the overs and it's not like we do not have the batting talent to bat out the 50 overs. Now, with the bowling aspect, it is again a different change and different pace to what the girls are accustomed to. So they just have to take that time and think it through the game and we'll be fine.
Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking time to speak with me. I wish you all the very best in the rest of the games for the season and all the best in T20s as well. Thank you for joining me. And I will, at this point in time, I'll invite my co-producer and presenters to join me just to close off the evening. as co-presenter.
Welcome back and thank you. Thank you so much for speaking with
Tamika
Poloxing.
Pagu and Javina Poloxing.
Javina Poloxing and Tamika Pagu. Congratulations to Weatherburn.
Yes, she made 17. That was the highest
The highest score
score individually on the team.
on the team. So congratulations. So all the best. We want to see what's happening next week. What's your take? Who do you think is gonna take it this year? Who is gonna take the title? The big bad. I ain't say it because
Everybody coming out this
big
year.
and bad. And the big
Yes.
bad. And the big bad. Yeah. So we big and bad too.
With our t-shirts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's her game.
It's her game. So our question, yes, we still have the giveaway. Our question for this week is
When was the first game for the West Indies women's team? When was the first game? So the last question was who was the first captain?
right.
This week it's when was the first game played?
Yes, when was the first game, first ever game played, the women's team?
Now,
right?
something that we have to mention, and although it may seem unfair, no female cricketers are allowed to answer. No female cricketers, because we have to make it fair. I mean,
Yes.
you all may know about it, but the others may not, and that's how they learn. So no female cricketers are allowed to answer. Everybody else, you're more than welcome.
Your neighbor, your boyfriend, no problem.
Anybody else.
Right? So the first ever West Indies women's game, what year, which year was that played?
And who did they play against?
Oh yes, yes.
That's an interesting one.
Right. So enjoy the rest of your week. We look forward to seeing you next week, God willing. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.